You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they stay the same. You're getting way over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can't win, child. Can't break even, can't get out of the game. Yeah.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right. Now, you Jermaine's in the house, stand up and shake the dust from your sandals, okay? All right. It's me here punching the clock. I think I have a good one for you today. So, Andre, appreciate you. Adric, what's happening? He's second, but I think we have a good show. Toya with the Forbidden Apple. Okay. Michael, what's going on? Mr. Shug to you. Supreme Pivot. Yes, we're here. Valeri, what's going on? Yeah, salute. Yeah, that South Korea passport. Yeah, I got it. I got you today. Smiling like cartoon villains. Men will always find a way. Hurricane Greg, what's happening? Forever Blessed, what's going on? Yehudas, what's going on? Ice Princess, what's going on? Tony Davis, what's going on? GD from the Netherlands, what's happening? Titan Blooded, what's happening? AB Media, beaming in on. Oh, you got 1K. Okay, cool. AB has crossed over. Okay, into the promised land. Jimmy HTV, what's going on? Ricky, what's happening? Says it's happening in all countries. Yeah, left is reduced down to bigotry. And yep, it is what it is. You know, men will adjust. Joshua Scott, what's going on? Let's see. You will have to relearn Spanish and speak the Castilian version as with an Italian cadence. Okay. Gundam, what's happening? Maestro, what's going on? E Capone, checking in from the 323. Trail, what's happening? Lavis, what's going on? Put some respect on the likes, please. Poseidon, what's going on? Dell 4 SEO, what's going on? Asplit Jim, what's going on? JD, what's happening? LTS, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Art? D. Scott? And y'all ask Jermaine's. I'll include that one, right? Okay. I can't believe they gave you Ashi Blokes YouTube. I got to find that. And it'll be a good bite. Okay. Grab Eddie, what's happening? Dave Tower, one of my day ones. What's going on? KP from KC, what's up? Champion Chuck, what's happening? Pragmatic Prime, what's up, my man? Michael with the $5 super chat afternoon. Atlanta Stay Focused, what's happening? I don't think I've seen you before. Castlevania Kid, what's happening? Appreciate you. Beef King, what's happening? Shannon Green, what's going on? AA King, what's going on? I should say Double A King 23. What's going on? I am the dust. Let's see. Well, who else we got? Bo Johnson. You got Jeffrey Massey. Okay. And Diesel Jr., what's happening? What's going on? Everybody's crazy. Everybody talk about a small portion of men getting their passport. It's a trend, okay? It's the start of a trend. It's way more than that. I say, well, with the Dusty Kangs are winning. Yeah, 2024. Hostile Adept, appreciate you. What's going on? Top Notch. Rocker, what's happening? MS Delta, what's going on? Metacog, appreciate you. So we got Sidereal, what's going on? Inspired One, what's happening? Hey, what's up, Doc? Dr. Thunder? Go ahead and pimp your channel, Doc. You had a couple of good ones out today. Wyatt Skinner, Man Cave, what's happening? Spain Man, my main man, what's happening? Money Motion? Savi, what's happening? Buenos dias, okay. So, or they say, and they don't say bueno, they say that, what did they say? Bueno, buenas, okay. They don't even say, so that covers morning, afternoon, and night. They just come and say, they don't even say, they say buenas, it's like a little shortcut. Travel agent, what's happening? I'm moving to Vietnam permanently in August. I have 8K saved, and I make 1,200 a month, and I'll be able to live like a king there. The average Vietnamese makes $3,700 a year. Very true. Dreamy Entertainment, what's going on? Chance Rogers. All Star, what's happening? Crypto Dynasty, what's up, man? Bad Black Gamer, okay. What's happening? Who else we got? Damie King, what's going on? Kareem Austin and Money Motion with the $5 super chat toward the tuition. Okay. Sage's Apprentice. I'm still acquiring your reading list. Hey, take your time, man. It's gonna take a while. MS Delta, you get your passport. You get your passport. Everybody gets a passport. Sounds like Oprah. KMS, what's happening? Appreciate you. Dusty Dollar deposit drop off. Hey, my bag man. Okay. And that's it. So I think we had a good one for you today. Where the title comes from. Okay. Anybody that's is actually subscribed to JR Wisdom, you've probably seen this already. Okay. I thought it was a good that's a good intro. If I can find those in my shorts. I just did it. Okay. I just did it. I just did it. Come on now. Just put it in my history. I just did this. Nah. Vietnam. Okay. Gotta go find it again. All right, I have it. Let me go here. I was gonna put it, I was gonna do it through JR, but I got it. I got it saved. So video file. Let's see. Let's go desktop. Should be there. Yeah, okay. All right. This is why I actually named it the way I did it, okay? Because it was something I was gonna do I probably still would do a pre-recorded taught about the racial hypergamy, but this is why I did it today, okay?
It's not, because here in New York, you have the abilities to get things that you want. Over there, you see an American guy coming to visit, and you're like, oh my God, God is on earth. Because of the fact that an American man, quote unquote, can give you anything. Because again, they're from here. Like, so what if you're white? So what if you're black? You're from the US. To us, as Dominicans, including myself, meeting a guy in DR or meeting a girl in DR is a big deal for them over there. But once you're here, you're like, okay, I'm in America, so I can meet anybody I want. And because I'm already here, this is a country of opportunities. Like, whoever doesn't get to where they want to here, either because of economics or whatever is going on in their lives, that's on them. Because honestly, you can achieve anything.
In other words, basically, that's why I named the name. In other words, she said, oh my God, God is on earth, right? Okay. In other words, it's a big deal. It's called, it's called hypergamy, right? Racial hypergamy, also class, right? Just by having the blue passport, okay, puts you in the top 5% of just about what most countries, right? It's having a blue passport. In other words, especially in some of the poorer countries, God is on earth. What did she just say? And that's the DR. DR is not that far away from the United States. They see gringos all the time. Oh my God, God is on earth, right? So we have that blue passport. Don't let any of these broads tell you that you ain't nothing, right? Okay. That's arbitrage, right? Okay. That's arbitrage. Basically, the United States is 5% of the globe, and they consume what 40%, 30% of the world's resources, right? They have they have 30% of the world's wealth. Okay, you're God on earth when you with the blue passport because you have access to anything, right? According to them, the way they think, the way they feel. So don't let anybody persuade you that just because you ain't got game, you didn't learn game here, that doesn't mean anything. That's bullshit. Okay, she just said it. You're a big deal when you land. Okay, when they see you speak American English. Okay, you're a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal. That's how hypergamy works. That's how social dominance order works, right? It's not. Race is only a part of it. Race is nothing but class. Okay, in a sense, it's class. So when you go someplace else with the blue passport, basically you're in a different class of person. That's what I want you to understand, right? God is on earth. Okay, the passport bros cometh. So when you come with a blue passport or the European passport to somewhere else, some other place, literally you God on earth, right? Literally, okay? Because you can give them anything. Chef Mike kicking up some dust, sliding into a little, okay, a little late. Appreciate you. And Dr. Thunder sharing some of the sandwich money. Okay, appreciate you. MS Delta Blue Passport. Okay. Norton Gordon, Nathan Gordon, appreciate you. And the second thing I want to share, and this is remember I was telling you about South Korea and their problem with their feminists and women not wanting to get married and stuff like that. Okay, women not wanting to get married. Okay, and so basically, when they go to Vietnam, guess what they become? They become God on earth, right? In fact, where was it? Right here. Go ahead, share this. I'll do this one first because this in a sense is you know M Lavo with the super chat. BGS. I have a date with Ebony K. Williams on Friday. I think she liked the Cheesecake Factory or tacos. Why even fuck around with the Cheesecake Factory? Go for find her a little taco, a nice little taco spot that's not part of a chain restaurant that has good tacos. Okay, that's all you need. Okay, that's all you need. If she wants to be with you, she'll be with you. Cheesecake Factory is nothing to do. You might as well get her tacos and save some money. Crypto Dynasty, I find it amazing women don't understand the ripple effect of false. Well, yeah, well, that's gonna happen, man. But they're allowed to do it. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get to this. This is arbitrage, right? This is what happens when you can actually go overseas and actually it's just like anything, it's outsource your dating and mating, right? To a lower cost environment, right? And so we're gonna start with this one, 1.25. Okay.
Has become known for its so-called export of brides. Our reporter Dongno went to a village where many of their daughters have married foreign men. He went there to find out why and how many of these unions have changed the lives of the families these women left behind.
A traditional fishing village by the South China Sea. The work is hard with uncertain returns. But that difficult life is now a thing of the past for Phạm Thị Thôn. She lives a life of prosperity by local standards. Her new house is filled with modern amenities. And this is...
And Chess Mike with the $10, he said, I have my passport in a silky southern accent. I am a novelty to these women. I am God. Tell them about it, right? Tell them about Chef Mike, God's on earth, right?
What changed her family fortunes? The marriage of her daughter to a South Korean man 10 years ago. It not only enabled her daughter to move abroad for a better life economically, it also gave Miss Thôn the opportunity to work in South Korea.
Tôi sang Hàn Quốc thì tôi sang quân dễ bập lãnh tôi sang. Con rể bảo vậy nếu mà mẹ có gì thì mẹ ở đây thì con xin việc cho mẹ đi làm.
Miss Tone worked at an agriculture company, making $1,000 a month, an income she couldn't even dream of in Vietnam. Miss Tone's situation is not unique.
See, her earning $1,000 a month in South Korea is a lottery ticket to her, right? Okay, that's poverty to us, right? That's poverty to us, okay? But that's a lottery ticket to them.
In her village in Dai Hub, almost every family has at least one daughter married to a foreign husband. South Korea is the most popular destination for such marriages because of its good economic prospects and diplomatic relations. Many mothers in Dai Hub, like Miss Tone, then went on to work in South Korea following their daughters' marriages. The money they sent back improved life in the poverty-stricken village.
I've been to many villages in Vietnam, but this one stands out for its obvious signs of wealth. Here in the middle of the village, I can see many new large houses. Overseas Vietnamese brides from here have helped build many of these houses and transformed the place.
The trend of Vietnamese women marrying men overseas started some 20 years ago. According to official figures, there were about 300,000 of these Vietnamese brides between 2008 and 2010.
Thì nghiên cứu cho thấy phần lớn là các cô gái những vùng nông thôn đấy là trình độ học vấn họ thấp, điều kiện gia đình là kinh tế khó khăn. Không ít trường hợp là hy vọng đi sang các nước mà nó phát triển ở Việt Nam như thế lấy chồng ấy thì có là thay đổi cuộc đời mình, có thể giúp đỡ bố mẹ mình ở quê nhà.
But not all of these marriages have a happy outcome. There have been reports of Vietnamese brides becoming the victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, and even murder. Most of the Vietnamese brides' marriages are arranged by local brokers who operate illegally in Vietnam.
Lấy chồng nước ngoài trong bối cảnh mà chỉ biết nhau qua một tuần.
And that's not voluntary. These are arranged marriages, right? These are programmed arranged marriages. So when an American comes over there, it's not programmed. It's more of a natural relationship, right? So we even give them a better deal, okay?
Đấy. Rồi làm dâu ở một cái đất nước xa lạ mà không hề biết gì cả. Thì những cái rủi ro ta biết là ngôn ngữ không biết thì không nói nhau được, giao tiếp nhau thì không hiểu nhau được. Ông nói gà, bà nói vịt, đấy là cái sự cảm thông nhau là khó. Thứ hai, không biết phong tục tập quán ở cái đất nước mà các phụ nữ Việt Nam đến, ví dụ chẳng hạn Đài Loan hay Hàn Quốc.
This South Korean language class hopes to help these Vietnamese brides better communicate with their husbands. The women also need a basic knowledge of the language to obtain visas to join their husbands in South Korea.
In other words, they're serious about their shit, okay? They want a better life. He's going to provide it, and they're serious about making that husband happy and adjusting, okay? We treat marriage and relationships like it's a game. It's not a game. It's a business.
Vì không muốn cho mình rồi là thế hệ sau mình nữa có cuộc sống tốt đẹp hơn, cho nên là mình có thể hy sinh một chút bản thân để lấy chồng xa.
Cái mà mình lo lắng nhất đấy là cái văn hóa ấy. Vì văn hóa Việt Nam với văn hóa của Hàn Quốc thì cũng có sự khác nhau ấy ạ.
Back in Dai Hub,
so when you go there, they don't really want to leave their culture because it's a really hard thing for them to come to someplace else like America or South Korea and actually indoctrinate yourself into another culture. They prefer for you to stay there around their family and friends. So when, as a passport bro, when you go there and you bring money there and you stay there where they don't have to leave, that's a win-win for them, okay? But women don't understand that, okay? They don't understand that. Salty Balls with the 1999, appreciate you. It literally is supply and demand, right? Okay, and this is old-fashioned arbitrage, man. That's been going on for the last 2,000 years, where money flows to poor areas and goods and services flow to another area, right? To the place where there's money. Okay, so South Korea's got money and access, right? So a wife is no different than a computer, than a computer chip, than labor, anything else like that, right? A wife will flow to where the money is, okay? They'll export brides and money will come back into the country.
Houses are under construction as foreign marriages continue to transform the village. And more girls are likely to follow in the footsteps of their village sisters to seek a better life abroad for themselves and their families. Tung Ngo, Channel News Asia, in Dai Hub, Hải Phòng.
In other words, and that's just the start, right? Okay, the thing is, what black women want to do is make this about love, okay? Until it comes to them, It's about arbitrage, right? It's arbitrage. You know, some of this shit ain't personal. You know, black men want what they want. It's not just us, okay? They always try to blame us. Oh, that we're so different. No. Every man will do that. If you want what you want and you're willing to pay for it, okay, with time, effort, resources, money, whatever it is, right? Okay, men are actually going to go get it wherever it lies. And women, basically, women in America, women in the West have outpriced themselves. Okay, the cost is too high. You get too little back for what you're paying. So you might, just like in Korea, you get too little back for what you're paying. So guess what? We're gonna go to where the culture is still still traditional. Don't have all this goddamn feminism. She'll do what I ask her to do, and she'll probably do it cheaper than what the women in Korea will actually supply me for it. So it's better to go someplace else, right? Okay. Now this one, I found out through Baleri and also Passport OG did something on this one. So I'm gonna this is the main event. Okay. This is gonna be the main event. See if I can find it again. There it is. All right. This is I've been telling you about this for a while, right? And I've been telling you this is what's happening. I told you they were importing brides. Koreans are very no nonsense. Koreans are very no nonsense. Okay. For better or worse, South Korean men seek brides in Vietnam. Okay, and this is France because Europe is on the clock right now. They see the way the tide is going. Passport bros are not playing, and this is all over the world. Okay, it's not just here. Feminism comes in. Women don't want to do the old traditional stuff, the old contract. They'll find women that do. Like I tell you, there's 4 billion women on the planet. I just told somebody, okay, you know, somebody, I ain't gonna say who is. He said, "What about that ass though?" I said, "You got 4 billion women on the planet. Find one to your like. I'm sure out of 4 billion, you can find one to your liking. Okay, if you're willing to do what's necessary. So don't let them dating coaches talk that shit. Go where you're gonna be happy. If you want to self improve, you want to learn game because you want to learn it for you. Learn it. But the biggest thing, the most important factor, the reason you learn game is so that you can learn how to be happy, right? That you can attract what you desire, attract the lifestyle that you want so that you can be happy, okay? Game is just a means to an end. Game is not an end to itself. Part of the game is finding your advantage. Coach Greg Adams said the exact same thing. When you everybody else will find an advantage and exploit it. Why not you? So don't let them shame you about that shit, okay?
Bienvenue to Swap the Reporter on France 24. I'm Mark Owen in Paris. South Korean men who want to marry a woman are facing a growing dilemma. It seems more and more South Korean women are choosing careers and independence over what they perceive as the restrictions of traditional marriage.
Sounds like Western women, does it not? Right? Okay? Sounds exactly like Western women, doesn't it?
So because of that, women from Vietnam, China, and Thailand are being more and more wooed and courted by South Korean men. Yureen Park joins us from Seoul, who's been investigating.
Doesn't it sound like black men going to the Latin countries? Okay, arbitrage, right?
These international marriages are on the rise. Tell us more, Yureen. Tell us more about it.
An increasing number of South Koreans are choosing multicultural marriages. 1 in 10 people in South Korea decides to marry a foreigner nowadays. In this report, we went to a matchmaking
agency. That's 1 in 10, right? 10% already, okay?
Agency that specializes in organizing mixed marriages. And as you'll see, it's quite surprising. The client we met traveled to Vietnam to speed date with local young women, and he had less than 24 hours to find his future wife.
Yureen, it sounds fascinating. Thank you.
Did you hear anything about love in this whole discussion? Hear anything about love? Did anybody mention love? The man or the woman? Anybody mention love? Well, she don't love you. Well, I said, bitch, you don't love me either. Okay? You don't love me either. Because say I got to have 6 figures and over 6 inches and a 6-pack and be over 6 feet tall. Okay, you don't love me. Stop. I said, I have met many blonde, blue-eyed Eastern European women with plenty, AZZ, yes, as. It's not limited to black women. No, it is not. Okay? No, it is not. Hell, you have a whole continent. You got 700 million women in Africa that have ass, okay?
Thank you very much indeed. Do stay with us. Let's take a look then at the report by Yerin Park.
These men and women have gathered in Yecheon in South Korea with one very important objective. The 20 men and 20 women are all in their 30s, and they're all single. Some have traveled long distances, and today they're hoping to find their soulmate.
Soulmate my ass.
저는 경북 예천 출신이고요. 회사는 서울에 있고 어제 저녁에 내려가지고 아직 한국어를 못했어요. 그래서 나이는 35이고 그래서 이게 좋은 계기가 돼서 좋은 사람들하고 많이 교류하고 싶어서 신청하게 됐습니다.
He's 35. Okay, normally 20 years ago he'd be 25 getting married. Okay.
The participants have 48 hours to get to know each other.
How the hell are you gonna find your soulmate in 48 hours? You ain't shit, Andre.
These timid exchanges are an important part of South Korean government policy. Cities experiencing depopulation receive more than 650 million euros between them every year.
And well, I'll bet you the South Korea is actually financing this shit, okay, undercover. I bet you they have to solve this demographic problem, and the women aren't going to play ball. Guess what they're going to do? Outsource this shit, okay? That's what they're doing.
To hold events like this one. The aim is to increase the number of marriages and lift the birth rate.
Yes.
For 27-year-old Park So-won, it's a rare opportunity to find a potential marriage partner.
I spend all my time at work, so it's difficult to meet new people. It's getting more complicated to marry.
Young people who want to tie the knot are the exception in South Korea, where the number of marriages has fallen by 40% over the past decade. Women are at the forefront of this cultural shift. They're more interested in building a career than living a more independent life.
Who does that sound like? Does that sound like Asian women? It sounds like Western women, does it not? Okay. This is over a matter of like 20 years.
Faced with a lack of potential partners at home, more men are seeking love overseas. Every year, about 16,000 South Korean men marry someone of a different nationality. Last year, almost a third of them married Vietnamese women. Several met their future wives here in Haiphong in northern Vietnam. These young women, often from neighboring villages, see international marriage as a route to a better life.
Basically, when they talk about high value man, they're seeking what? A better life, okay? It's just couch it in different terms. It's the same bullshit. Don't let them sell you on it, right?
But these events often take place without the knowledge of the Vietnamese authorities. Today, around 20 women aged between 20 and 30 have come to this hotel in the city's centre.
I would like to make a good impression on my future husband. In case I meet him today, the bracelet I'm wearing is symbolic. It's the key to my heart.
Gong Yu Man, the director of a marriage agency in Seoul, comes here every month. This time he's accompanied by two South Korean men hoping to find a bride. Jin Woon Sob, a 40-year-old farmer.
These look like alpha males, okay? The 6'6" dominant males, do they?
Is hoping to find someone who can help him run his farm and look after his aging parents.
It's difficult to find a wife in South Korea. I'm getting old and it doesn't get easier with time. Marriage is seen as important. Everyone around me keeps telling me it's time to settle down.
Try to be more at ease during the interviews. As I already explained, avoid complicated questions and just focus on simple ones. It's his first time, so he doesn't really know which questions to ask or those to avoid when speaking to a woman.
Jin landed in Haiphong this morning. He doesn't know anything about the women he's about to meet, and he'll only have 10 minutes to chat to each one. The meetings take place under Gong's watchful eye.
This is an arranged marriage in the modern world. That's all it is, okay? Get in where you fit in, what the woman that you wants you. In other words, yeah, what can she give you and what can you give her, right? Good old bartering, right? Old-fashioned barter.
Jin interviews the women one after the other with the help of an interpreter. This man has remembered Gong's advice and is keeping things simple.
See what they're doing that they don't do in America? When you meet them, smile, okay? Do they smile? No.
Some of the meetings end quickly. Jin seems eager to get to know more about this woman, 30-year-old Tien. She's been called back for a second meeting. This time, she and Jin communicate using translation apps. Ten minutes later, all seems well.
See, because marriage is more important than the person, okay? Marriage is more important than the person. The duty of marriage is more important than the person. That's what it's one thing that they understand.
착한 것 같아. 착한 것 같아.
Em có thích anh không? Dạ vâng.
홍서씨는 어떻고? 그러면 이제 마음에 드셨으면 남자답게 일어서서 악수 한번 하시고 한번 안아주시고 답변 안 해도 돼요. 답변 안 하고.
Cái là run ạ. Dạ có. Dạ vui. Em nghĩ là tình cảm sẽ phải từ thời gian bồi đắp vậy ạ.
These marriages may not be a case of love at first sight, but they come with the prospect of a stable future for Vietnamese women and their families. The average salary in South Korea is 5 times that in Vietnam. In this village on the outskirts of Haiphong, there are signs of prosperity amid the rice paddies. The change began 20 years ago after the first wave of international marriages involving local women. This village has 4 nieces, all married and moved to South Korea, and now help their families back home.
Once they get married, the women can help their parents financially. They work abroad and send money home. That's used to build beautiful houses. I regret not having more daughters. I could have married them off to foreigners.
And in other words, that's the old-fashioned way of doing things, right? Marry them off to foreigners, right? So the family can progress.
As many as 1 in 7 young women in some Vietnamese villages have left to marry and live overseas. Tien, the bride-to-be, comes from one of these villages. Back in Haiphong, the new couple are celebrating their wedding barely 24 hours after they first met. But only the bride's family is here. Jin has paid for everything, spending 7,600 euros on his visit to Vietnam and his wedding ceremony.
It's a lot of money, but that's the price you pay to get married. It doesn't bother me.
Gong says wedding costs can reach 12,500 euros, depending on the marriage agency.
The men pay the agency fees, and the women pay local intermediaries who put them in contact with their foreign partners. It's a completely normal way to get married here.
And then broker, it's called business, right? They understand duty and also understand business.
Everything's happened very quickly for the newlyweds, but now they need to be patient. Before leaving for South Korea, Tien has to learn some Korean and get the necessary documents for her visa. The process will take 7 months.
I'm very happy I found my other half.
But I'm also very worried about going to a country where I don't have any friends. I don't know the culture. I have to start from scratch.
In other words, if she had her druthers, she'd rather him come to her and stay in Vietnam. That's what passport bros actually understand. They always say women always want to come back with you, right? That's 99 times out of 100. That's not true. She'd rather you stay there with family.
I've been told that life is better there. That's why I chose to leave.
It will be difficult, and it will be a while before we see her again. We'll miss her, of course.
Good job.
Life in South Korea is not always as easy as the women are led to believe. The language barrier and cultural differences mean some experience discrimination and isolation.
That's true. So many Scandinavian men marry Filipina and Thai women, which has been a problem with the local women. Oh yeah, when it gets to a tipping point, it's going to be a problem. That's what they're afraid of.
42% of victims of domestic violence. Divorce is common, affecting 60% of international couples in South Korea. Some women turn to community groups for help, including this one in Incheon, west of the capital, Seoul. This morning, it's hosting an event to help foreign women make Korean friends.
We've organized several activities to bring Incheon residents closer to multicultural families through things like Korean language classes and concerts. I hope you'll continue the precious friendships you've built over the past year.
Jesalia, who's from the Philippines, came to South Korea 12 years ago.
우리 KFC 센터 있어. 있어.
Jesalia and her Korean husband have 2 children. She remembers how tough it was at first.
One of the struggles in my life is the communications. When my son is so sick, I don't know how to communicate the doctor. How can I explain to him? Most of the foreign, they expect a lot of things in Korea. They think when they watch the movie, they like a Korean drama. But when they came here in the Korea, everything, in reality, everything is changed.
And then Korea is probably the toughest place to have to be a wife because so much is expected out of you, right? So, and Americans don't ask for nearly a tenth of what Korean men actually ask for. So that's why especially black men. That's where outcome passport bros actually win. Korean women actually love black men because of that. Okay, if you can make some money in Korea and being a black man that don't ask for a tenth of what most men ask for, okay, she thinks she's winning. In other words, that's why God is on earth.
Jesalia believes there's only one secret to a successful marriage.
Don't expect anything. You must learn. You must learn everything and then accept. And don't expect anything. You just adapt, and then that's all.
International marriages could help South Korea address its low birth rate, but they face many challenges in this conservative society. Community groups have called on the government to better protect foreign brides and not just view them as a solution to the population problem.
As you see, our reporter Yerine Park is still with us from Seoul. Yerine, thank you for that report, a remarkable insight into a social phenomenon that is going on there in South Korea. Why is Vietnam then becoming the place for these Korean men to be?
Vietnam hasn't always been the favorite place to go for single people. In most cases, they used to go to China to get married, where women were considered culturally and physically similar to South Korean women. But since then, China has experienced significant economic growth, and Chinese women too have started turning away from marriage. As a consequence, they've been replaced by Vietnamese women who are seen as more traditional. The advantage is that South Korea benefits from a real cultural influence in Vietnam, and many young women are fascinated by a certain image of South Korea portrayed by TV series and K-pop. It's worth mentioning that it's not only men who select their partners, as we noticed when we were filming. After their first chat with the client, Mr. Jin, many women left because he didn't meet their criteria. They thought he was too old, too reserved, or they didn't want to move to the countryside.
Exactly.
So the final decision is really made by both sides.
The path of true love can be a very complicated road, can't it, Yerine? So once in South Korea, then, things can prove quite difficult for these women.
Yes, life in South Korea can indeed turn out to be more challenging than expected. Young women sometimes find themselves with an abusive husband and no one around to ask for help. That's why it's important to promote strong government measures and social structures to protect the victims. But it's also important to highlight the responsibility and the role of the agent if we want to see less of these situations in the first place. For example, the agency director, Mr. Gong, explained to us that he reviews his clients before introducing them to young women. He sometimes seeks recommendations from their families or friends, and of course, he checks their criminal records.
Well, that's why women, most foreign women prefer you to stay in country. Okay, like this American passport bros, especially black ones, stay in country. Okay, that's why they're preferred. That's why you go down to Colombia. That's how come the family pushes women towards you. Okay, not to come back to the United States, but the thing is for you to stay there because that's where the wealth is going to come. The country wants you to stay there because that's where the money's going to come. They don't like shipping you and the women out. They prefer you to stay where you are.
Once the marriage is confirmed, a follow-up usually takes place over several months or even years. But unfortunately, these measures are not always respected by agents who sometimes put profits above everything else.
And all they ever wanted was to fall in love and be happy. Yerine, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Yerine Park, whose report you can see again, of course, via our website, france24.com. This is Reporters. Thank you for joining us. You stay with us here on France 24.
Feminism is all over. Okay, it's gonna implant itself all over. It's just where can you get the best deal, and that's what's going to become in this internet world, right? Uh, it's already starting out as far as goods, services, and money, and women, and jobs. Okay, where can you get the best deal? And the dating coaches should have known that, man. It's about finding your best advantage, no matter who you are and what you have to work with, right? If you 5'2" or 5'3", okay, you're not going to a Scandinavian country when the average height is 6'1", okay. Better off in the Philippines or Latin America where the average height of a female is 4'11", because you have a better advantage in that environment, right? That's all it is. Find your advantage. Well, when we teach game, right? It's finding women that rock with you, finding women that want you, right? Where's your best advantage? It's really not that hard. It's not really rocket science. It's very, very logical, right? Why should you pay 3 times as much for a product that's not as good when you can pay actually have 90% off on a product that you want? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I always thought it was arrogant to assume everybody wants to come to America. It is. But the thing is, that's the women that are talking. Okay, that's the women. They're following what the women say. They look at 90 Day Fiance, and that's what they based everything off of instead of real life. Okay, most women would rather stay in country where they're comfortable. Women like to be comfortable, right? Okay, there's a few that want to come away from where their country is, right? Because hey, I don't have no choice. Push come to shove, I want a better life, and the guy can't stay. What am I going to do? I got to follow him. She would rather you stay where you are with her and her family and become part of her family. That's what she wants. Self-correction via globalization. And it always does, man. It always balances. Pay less there, and then your children come to be raised in a decent place rather than here. Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. It's like asking Superman to go to a planet with a red sun rather than stay on Earth with a yellow. That is true. Now, 90 Day Fiance is scripted, and 90 Day Fiance is them importing people to the United States. Much like this, you could actually have a 90 Day Fiance in Korea, right? When you try to come from a foreign place to another country, you have to have a certain kind of mindset. Otherwise, you're not going to adjust. That's why there's a lot of divorce in South Korea. South Korea is not an easy place to be a wife. I'm going to say that, man, because I've read that. If American women had to be a wife in South Korea, they'd leave. They'd leave because what she has to do in America is nothing compared to what she got to do in the Asian countries. Okay, that's like you see very few Western women marry an Asian and become a wife in Asia. Okay, because of that. Okay, it's a very, very patriarchal, very conservative society, right? You have to help take care of the parents, okay? Not vice versa. You have to work. You have to cook and clean. You have to buy. You have to service that man. Okay, you don't have that choice. You know, I don't feel like having sex. Bullshit. Open your legs, bitch. They don't play that. You want to get an abortion, you got to ask him. They don't play this kind of stuff, right? So Americans, the spoiled American women in this gynocentric society, they're used to being there. That's how come they can't travel. They can't travel and marry somebody else. Black women cannot even go to Africa and find a man because of the culture. They can't. What did all the African coaches say? All the African guys say, bring your man with you because you can't adjust. Cupcake. Anyhow. Now, I would let some people up. Let's see, what time is it? I can bring a couple people up for about 20 minutes and we're going to go, okay? But I don't know why, really don't know why there's this big uproar about passport bros and them going overseas, because when I looked at it, expats make up maybe 1% of the population, maybe 1% of the population. If it's just travel, basically talking about maybe another 3%, maybe 6% of the population. And the black population is even less than the average, right? Because they have less money. But the thing is the trend. What they're showing you is that you're not crazy. The rest of the world doesn't ride with the bullshit that black men actually on. Okay, so they can sell it, they can scream and holler it, but guess what? The rest of the world don't rock with that shit. But they don't want a passport world showing you what the rest of the world is like. Okay, because that proves that you're not crazy, and what you're asking for is nothing. The American population. I don't know what you're talking about, Terrell Boxley. Passport bros or expats make up 1% of the American population. That's including the children. 1%, 3.5 million people. That's 1%. You're talking about people that travel for this kind of stuff. You talk about another 3 or 4%. It's not that many. And not like South Korea, where 10% of the marriages are foreign brides. That's huge. If 10% of the marriages are foreign brides, that'd be like what? Ooh, that'd be like 150, 160,000 foreign marriages a year. Okay, a year. But the thing is, South Korea doesn't import people like we do. Anyhow, let me go ahead and invite a couple people up for a few minutes, 20 minutes, because I got to go. All right. And y'all be nice. So WLR says, you saw that Korean said bye to that single divorced mother. Yep. The planned obsolescence of Black American families broken down by generation by generation. It's all by not. It's actually not by design. There's more. There's way more to it than that. And the Black American family was actually put together badly from the beginning, and the Black women refused to help fix it because they're happy with the way it is. Instant media, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, BGS?
What's the word?
Oh, I think it's starting to hit some of the BWs, at least some of them. Because I'm now starting to see TikTok videos. I need a man. I need a man.
Oh yeah. That's
She was
all
telling
over.
a story about, she went on these trip with these girls. She drives a school bus. And she parked her car where the bus is, and when she came back from the 4-hour trip, she left her lights on. Translation: her battery's dead.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
And there been that situation. I've actually lost count how many jumps I've done, just randomly at a gas station.
Okay.
So yeah, It's starting to hit some of them. It ain't hitting all of them, but it's just
Oh
starting to hit.
no, it's hitting all of them. Okay,
Mm.
in different degrees, at different levels, hitting all of them. They all know.
Yes, I thought that was an interesting statistic that you just brought up. You were saying that about like 10% of marriages in South Korea are foreign brides, but
yeah,
like and and it made me think about like the marriage rate in the U.S. like how it's going down and like what is it now? Like what, like 40-50%?
The number of people married is 40 of all people is 48%.
Mm-hmm.
In Korea, it's like 40. But the thing is, it took America some 150 years to get there. It took Korea 20.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on steroids.
So I was just more so thinking about like I know like the U.S. obviously has a larger population than South Korea does. Well, I would think, anyways.
We have a bigger population, but the thing is that it's not. The thing is, they're the canary in the coal mine. They're going through a lot faster than we are. We're headed that direction. Okay, you can see we're headed that same direction, just not as fast because we have more people.
Yeah, like the reason why I brought that up is I was just thinking about when you brought up that statistic. I was thinking about like what if that was to happen in the U.S. if 10% of the marriages are from foreign brides out of like the 40 to 50%. Like that would be pretty significant.
That would be huge. I mean, yeah, talk about like I said, I think it's like 1 million marriages a year. So you're talking about 100,000, 150,000 marriages a year, from foreign brides. So that would be it'd be more than huge. That'd be earth shattering.
I can hear them crying now about that, but
And then what do you do with the 10% of women that didn't get married that are from here?
Call them leftover women.
They will be leftover women for real.
I mean, shout out to China, but they already came up with the term for it, so
yeah.
But as much as these ladies want to, they can't stop this passport bro movement.
Because the environment it created the passport bro movement. It didn't come out of nowhere because passport bro has been a hashtag since 2018. Why now, right? It's because the environment actually supports it now.
Well, I've known several black men that were passport bros long before the term came about. So
yeah, I mean we didn't call it that. But the thing is that the passport bro movement came about because of remote work.
Yeah.
In 2020 because of COVID, where guys could financially go abroad and work and live for instead of being a week or two or a weekend, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, right? That makes the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually earn a living by going abroad. That didn't happen before. So now you have this big movement of men that are dissatisfied with the cost of living in the United States, with the women in the United States going someplace else, right? And so if for every man you take, there's a woman that doesn't have a man. And the women can't not do the same to kind of balance things out because women nest in an environment. They don't actually shape it. And plus, women are sellers and not buyers. Okay, so if you there's a difference between buying 10 cents on a dollar, okay, versus selling 10 cents on a dollar, right?
Right.
And you don't see South Korean brides going to Vietnam to live. Why? It doesn't make any sense. They're buyers, they're not sellers. So why should they sell their value for 10 cents on the dollar? It doesn't make sense. But women don't understand that shit because their mindset is.
I'm independent.
Yeah, they can be independent all they want. More power to them.
I think they do.
So what?
Good, brother.
I think they do.
They do what?
Oh, they know. They definitely know.
Well, you in Gynocracy Central, man. So
I mean, bro.
That's like black women are the loudest because they already have a male deficit. There are already 2 million less adult males than black females, right?
Right.
So any percentage that you take from the black males is going to affect them. negatively. That's how come they're the loudest. Now, white women are actually getting in on the game, because white men say, "Hey, that sounds like a good deal. 10 or 90% off. I'm in."
Man, BGS, bro. BGS. I think I got an Uber one day, and then I just told the girl, she was like, I think we just got in a small conversation. She was like, "Oh, the men over here, so and so. I can't stand Latin men." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I was like, "Hey, how about you just go to Jamaica?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah." And she kind of just looked at me like looking crazy as what, man. Right? And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going. I'm over here. I'm going to Africa right now." And she was like, "Going to Africa?" It's like, "Why would you go to that? Why would you go there?" I was like, "Oh no, I love this place, bro." Like,
in other
man,
words,
that car ride was so different.
in other words, why would you sell yourself for 10 cents on the dollar, right? According to her, right?
Man.
That's a step down to her. And it would be, if I was a woman, I wouldn't go to Uganda or someplace else like that and sell myself for 10 cents on the dollar. I wouldn't. Okay?
Well, I actually wanted to comment on this topic is actually interesting because somebody also was mentioning this, and I can't remember the content creator, and I wasn't
Just
giving their
get to
flowers
the
to it.
point, man. Don't worry about that. Just get to the point.
Yeah. So basically, they were talking about how basically the same thing that was going on in that video that you played. That they were talking about South Korean men. They were actually traveling basically they were becoming passport bros.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, well, I know it somewhat affects the birth rate in South Korea.
Yes.
It's interesting to know, well, to think about how much it affects them.
Oh, the thing is, the South Koreans, the government actually approves it, so they're actually bringing the women back to South Korea. They're not going over men shipping them over there. No. They want the kids and the wives and the workers to be in South Korea, so that's how they're actually bringing them back. Okay, in America's case, we're leaving and not coming back. That's the problem for America.
Yeah, well, they need to change their incentive structure. Oh wait, never mind.
That's why they're in the business actually changing this kind of stuff, because men are leaving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once you kind of like, I done already been to was it 6 countries already over there in East Africa. Coming back here, bro. I don't know, man.
In other words, why would you come here and pay the 150% that you have to pay to deal with an Atlanta woman? When you
150, more like 200.
That's crazy.
But point taken, yeah.
So BGS. So out of black men, because when I'm down in Colombia, right? I'm big on South America.
Yeah.
So
we got about, my grandson just called me, so we got about 10 minutes. Go ahead.
I got you.
Okay.
So my question is like, I see a ton of black men in Colombia.
Yeah.
Like every city I go. So
yeah.
I'm in Cali. They're there. They're Barranquilla. Not as much, but there are more and more brothers discovering Barranquilla.
Yeah.
Is that because the airlines, or is it that the word is out?
Both.
Both. Because I'm meeting men that literally. So I was in Medellin. Literally, I just got back last Wednesday, and the brothers. I'm just stopping random brothers, and I talk to them just how I am on here. I just stop and talk to them. And dudes like, I'm from Arizona. I'm from Dallas. I'm from Phoenix. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I'm meeting dudes from Jersey, all over the place, Detroit, Chicago, and they're just they know. And then the ones that are I've met black men 2 years ago, they're divorced now. Literally, he said, I'm done. He said, I'll be living here within 4 months. It's crazy. So what do you think the percentage for us in particular? Because I meet white men that are down there.
Yeah.
They just don't say nothing. They're just quiet. That's the one thing I've noticed.
No, we don't hear, because the channels that they communicate with are different than ours.
Yeah.
They've been saying it. They've been saying.
They've been saying it for decades.
For decades.
Yeah.
We just don't. Our women is just louder than most. That's all.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys, a lot of the black guys, they're not in these circles, especially on the, when it comes to the colleges. I know guys who are, they do derivatives. I mean, he's African. He was doing derivatives like some 10 plus years ago, and I think he's about 10 years older. He was telling me.
Yeah. I mean,
flat out.
I knew about this, man, like 20 years ago, man. It was on the board, it was on in the message boards, all kind of stuff. They've been saying it. The thing is that our women are actually louder than most. That's all.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, to me, it's like I don't even know why these guys are even responding. One, to the women who don't want you, and then two, even responding to these dating coaches. Like, I mean, you're a man. You got nuts. You don't have to explain yourself to
I ain't gonna explain myself to
anybody.
everybody.
I mean, you know what I mean?
It's because it's because when Passport Bros really got hot and all the brothers back, they're gonna ruin our reputation, man. Fuck them, right? Stop being afraid of your women. Everybody has to go through a learning process. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah. And it's not even a large percentage of men or black men.
It is not. It is not.
It's not.
But it shows what's possible. That's what people don't like.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Somebody jump in. We got about 5 more minutes.
I was gonna say, going back to what BJ said, man, the fact, and I think we said on another stream, the fact that you're seeing the visual of what's possible. All brothers really need. Because that aspect of before, man, you couldn't see it, you didn't know, you just heard the whispers. Now, and you're seeing brothers are much happier.
Yeah,
man. At this point, dude, like, what is it? My little nephew, I think he was like 15 years old. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a passport bro, just like you." I'm like,
wow.
What?
Well, like there's an immediate issue that needs to be addressed. Somebody has a smoke alarm that's beeping.
Well, y'all only got about 3 more minutes to put up with it. Y'all chill out and shut the fuck up, right? Okay, y'all chill out. It ain't that big a deal. We have bumpy mics and people underwater when they're talking. Chill out. On smoke alarm is not that big a deal. Come on now.
Well, BGS, I will admit that is me. When I got back from Colombia, this is a new sound. So I'm like, what the hell? So I completely take ownership of that beat.
Don't even worry about it, man. Y'all calm down and listen to what.
I was just trolling.
We got about 2 minutes, so you guys go ahead and jump in.
What's going on? Good Lord, go ahead.
You don't know it was you, but go ahead, Salchi.
Yeah, the American environment, the trajectory where we're going is pretty much only going to be for the talented and the connected. So it's only going to be for a small percentage of people. And obviously looking at the court system, it's just not in your favor. It's pragmatic if you can to be happier somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been pragmatic for you to go somewhere where you can thrive and be happy. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a passport bro. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're going over there handling your business, and you're with, generally speaking, a higher caliber of women. End of story.
I'm sure, Salchi, where you from? I'm sure they have wives already picked out for you if you wanted to go.
Man, my aunt at my grandfather's funeral, she told me to go get a wife in Africa. Yeah. This was over 10 years ago. She's from there. But she's lived here for like decades. She said, she said these women are trash. I'm quoting her. The women in America are trash.
Salchi, where are you from originally? Is it Liberia?
Yeah, I was born here, but my family's from Liberia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a video.
Are you from the mountains, like in country?
No, Monrovia.
Okay.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, there's a video circling of this older woman like it ain't the men's that gone bad, the women's.
Oh yeah. The granny. I have a lot of older women, man. They're in their 80s and 70s, and they say the exact same shit. So it's not new. It's not new. I've heard that for the last 30 years.
Ain't gone bad, the women's gone bad.
My mother get on my daughter about her behavior. Okay.
BGS, can I ask you? Ask you one question?
Go ahead.
I know I'm gonna be very quick. Did you catch Steph Cole last to?
Nope. I don't even watch him, so I have no idea what it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, he was talking about like literally the women here. So him trying to date here. And he gave a woman, like, she's in his inbox and she's begging for a chance, and then he gives her a chance. And then she fails. He asks her to do this one thing, then he asks her to do another thing, then he asks her, then he's like, You're like, bitch, you failed.
And she,
like,
she was never trained to do it. How's she gonna do it?
Yes.
It's like hitting a baseball and you never picked up a bat before.
Right.
I don't care how willing you are, you can't do it because you've never been trained. It is what it is. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Closing thoughts, folks.
I'll go. As usual, BGS is on overtime for the past 3 months consecutively.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just give yourself the permission to go be happy, man. You got this one life. I mean, these people are just, they're irrelevant.
You know what the new phrase going around is, right? I know you saw it, right?
Which one?
Better call Saul Chi.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Me too. Yeah,
I might have to use
that.
Yeah, I fell out of my chair.
I think I'm gonna have to start looking out the window now for black vans. I'm a little too close.
You're too close. I heard that. All right, who's next?
Go ahead.
Who's first?
Okay, I'll go quick. Thanks for having me up. I'm gonna test out what we talked about earlier, and hopefully it works.
All right. Anybody else?
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and say something. Get off real quick. God bless a man with a passport. God bless a man with US dollars.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
out.
Oh, the God is on earth, right?
Hey, BGS,
Yes, sir.
thank you again for letting me come up. Thank you for your teaching, for the many years of helping and continuing to help us. God bless you, sir. And when are we gonna get a BGS is right T-shirt?
Oh my gosh!
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead, James.
I was going to say,
thanks for having me up. To quote your number 2, it's over.
It is over. It is over. It's over. Okay.
I'm gonna be talking about this later. I'm just ashamed of. I'm gonna talk about this later. They talking about they fighting for democracy. What democracy? I'm out.
Yeah, well, how you define democracy? Okay. Go ahead, James.
Well, thank you again, BJS. Always a pleasure. To all my brothers out there, man, please, please, please take these words of wisdom to the heart and die with these words of wisdom, because these bitches will kill you in America.
In America, yeah.
Have a good one.
Outside America, God is on earth. Remember that. Right?
All right, brother.
All right, folks.
Good evening. Your time now is 10:52. I'm Jeanette Reyes. We told you at 7:52. I don't want to hold you. We told you at 8:52. Don't let me keep you. This just into our newsroom. You are not obligated to go to your place of residence as your final destination, but it certainly cannot be here.
All right, folks. All right, Dusty, tune it up.